everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Spartan Sports Report here on TV3. And as you can see, we have Brent Duncan with us tonight. Brent is the athletic director at CHS/CEO sectional. Okay.
Yeah, we're excited. It starts tomorrow night.
This is true.
We're going down tonight and setting up. So,
Popping popcorn.
I am not popping the popcorn.
Okay. No popcorn.
Not tonight, anyway. There'll
Sam
be popcorn.
Eske's got something.
There'll be popcorn tomorrow, but not tonight.
Okay. What other food we going to have?
Whatever's in the
Whatever's normally in the concession stand. Okay, and they're ready and.
They will be ready.
Okay, because we have big crowds, you know.
They'll be on fire and they'll handle everything.
I didn't know if they'd set up another one down in the other
temporary one in
corner.
the southwest corner.
Yeah. Okay.
They'll have popcorn and candy bars, I believe. So
Okay.
southwest corner will be the quick grab and goes, and the north end will have the hot stuff. So.
I think that's a good idea.
As well as the other things, but on the south end you can just get your popcorn. I think popcorn will be there and candy bars.
Okay.
All
And
the
soft
I's
drinks.
dotted, T's crossed for tomorrow night.
They will be before I go home tonight. So 98% of them are done. Still got a few odds and ends. I got to make some signs for the media people put in their location. So
I assume I get my same location.
well, I might sit there.
Okay.
Yeah, you can have your spot.
This takes a lot of help, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of people in behind the scenes that'll have to do some
Sure.
things tomorrow that aren't typically at a game, and you know, there's additional officers, so we have one in every corner, and so just little things that have to come together.
Yes.
Everybody knows where they're supposed to be now. It's just making sure they get there and are where they're at. So,
You expecting a big crowd?
well, I'm hoping it's got 5,134 people sitting in there, so that would be awesome. So I did a little look at Greensburg's financial report, and according to them, from last year, they only had a total of attendance of 2,208 people for the entire week. So I'm thinking we should probably have that topped by tomorrow night. But
Hope so.
that would be great. So
It's great to have a sectional for the first time in a long time, and I know the Spartan fans are really anxious for it to get underway.
yeah, I hope it's just the first of many. I know next year we're going back to Greensburg for a year, but
Yes.
hopefully the number of people and the amount of profit that we can make from ours is better. And of course, obviously, I think our venue is better from a viewing standpoint. So.
And from a entrance and egress standpoint too. I remember when we were at Greensburg when we were in 3A before that they almost had to have more time between the games to get the people out of the stands and back in because you got to come in on the floor and go up.
Yeah, there's
Or-
no way to get to the top.
Right.
Rather than coming in at the bottom. But, you know, hopefully we'll be all right. We just have the one main entrance, but if you have a season pass, you can enter the doors at any door. If you bought your season pass ahead of time, you can come in the northwest, the northeast, or down in the main tunnel area. But obviously everybody likes the southwest corner. It doesn't matter if they got their ticket or not. But, you know, if you have your ticket, it would help with traffic up in the front if you come in the northwest or northeast corner doors where you can step in. So if you don't have your ticket, unfortunately, you can't come through the gym to go get one. You'll have to walk around the Grand Avenue side. So, of course, you know, you can park in the hospital lot north of the hospital and the overflow, and then the south lot on the south side of the middle school will be open. We're utilizing the church lot and the little north lot on the back side for our dignitaries and our people that need to have a little parking spot area. So those two lots will be taken up, but you can park in the lot, like I said, on the north side of the hospital, but on the south side of the immediate care. So they've offered those spots up to us. So
People are really cooperating with you, aren't they?
yeah, it's been nice, and it's always helpful that the people, and of course we're going to block off Indiana Street for our buses. So if you think about after 4 o'clock coming down Indiana on the east side of the middle school, you're probably not going to get through, but we'll have somebody out there monitor those so our buses can unload on Grand Avenue and then have a place to park without having to worry about finding a spot at 7 o'clock. You know, on a Wednesday night, it's going to be a little different when the second game because the traffic will be there before the first game. But can also park south of the high school or the middle school and the old junior high south lot. Miller Master Robbins has offered up their parking lot if they don't have a funeral there, so that's nice. And of course, you know, you can find your side street to park your car on. So, but you know, if you can park in the lot north of the hospital, you're talking less than a half a block if you got your all-season ticket to get in that northeast door. So,
And there's plenty of parking on the street too.
oh, absolutely. We've talked about that many times of how quick it is to get your car and get out.
Mm-hmm.
If you did a 5-minute walk to your car and then you're out in your street and you're gone in 2.
Right.
So.
You may have to park on another street and not be able to see the bowl, but it's there.
It's not moved as of yesterday.
No.
I haven't been there today. So.
There's a lineup for the sectional Tuesday at 7 p.m. Lawrenceburg. 12-10 on the season meets the Spartans 13-10. The teams played 9 days ago at Lawrenceburg, and the Spartans a 7-point win, 49-42. Wednesday at 6, South Dearborn. They are, gosh, I don't remember. I know they lost 13.
I think they're 6 and 13.
Okay,
don't quote
thank
me
you.
on that.
6 and 13. They play Rushville 6 and 17. January 30th is when they played. It was a 67-52 South Dearborn win. Wednesday at 7:30, Batesville 12 and 10 plays Franklin County 8 and 13. January 24th, those teams played, and Batesville won 55-40. Friday at 6, Greensburg 21 and 2 meets either Lawrenceburg or the Spartans, and the Wednesday winners play in the second game at 7:30. Greensburg won over the Spartans January the 10th, 52-44, and January 30th, the Pirates won over Lawrenceburg 58-46. Greensburg's two losses were to Southport and Bloomington South. Saturday at 7:30, Friday's winners meet for the championship, with the winner advancing to the regional at Washington on Saturday, March the 14th. Pretty good lineup. It's Eastern Indiana Athletic Conference teams, all but East Central, who moves to Columbus North because they are 4A. So,
Well, I think that's a good thing for us. I mean, you don't like to play the teams too many times in the year, but with the rivalries and the conference, competition between everybody, I think it's set up for a good atmosphere come tomorrow night at 7 o'clock when we tip it off. So,
what kind of trophy does the winner get in the sectional?
just get a big trophy that's got the IHSA state title on, the state on it, and then it's just got the sectional championship on it.
Okay,
So
a lot of.
runners up get a ball. So
Okay.
winners get the trophy and a ball. So
A lot of times, some of the sports give a plaque in the shape of Indiana.
it is the shape of Indiana, but it's actually on a stand, so
Oh,
it'll
okay.
stand up in the trophy case. So
All right, good enough. Well, there's room in our trophy case.
plenty. Hopefully fill those up.
Build more.
So that's the object, is to get more trophy cases. So
That's right. You can get more trophy cases.
that'd
if
be
you
all
need.
right.
A regional, is that a plaque that slides in on that?
Used to be, but this year, as we voted in at one of our board meetings, that regional winner will now get a trophy instead of just the little plate that went on the little wooden piece at the bottom. And there's something to be said about winning the regional instead of they come out. And some schools will ask you to bring your sectional trophy with you, so if you win, they can run in and put it on there and hand you the trophy. But it'd be nice to get something other than the little plate that
Yes.
went on it. So this year they went back and every regional winner will get their own trophy now. So, which I think is a good thing.
Sure
It's
it
always
is.
nice to hand them something besides the little tube that's got the little plate in it. So and basketball. So
Talked about doors opening at 6.
we'll open up tomorrow night at 6. If I think the big crowd is too big and we got a line, I might open up a tad bit early, but no later than 6.
And Wednesday and Friday at.
Wednesday we'll do the same. We'll open up 5 on Wednesday and Friday since we start at 6. So
Yes.
tomorrow night we don't start till 7, so we'll open up an hour before each night. Then,
Okay.
depending on the crowd, come those 2 nights. And if all my workers are there in place, and they all have been asked to be there a half hour before we open the door, so they should all be there. But if the crowd gets too big and the line gets too big, we might open it early.
Yes.
And then Saturday we'll open at 6:30 at the latest on Saturday.
It'd be nice to have that problem, big crowd.
Like I said,
Open early.
5,134 for 4 nights would be great in that bowl. So it's a great atmosphere.
It is. After, say, on Wednesday night or Friday night, after the first game is done, how much, and the floor is cleared, how much time then before the next game starts?
Just as quickly as we can get the people off the benches and maybe run the broom if we need to run the broom, and then get everybody out so we got everybody in the right spot. So.
Well, it's off subject, but you mentioned the broom. It used to be, when I was a lad, that at halftime they'd come out, 2 big brooms, and dry mop the floor. And then after the game, they would do that. I don't see that happening
I just
anymore.
think the technology's so better that the floor is a little bit better than it was when we played.
Okay. The finish on the
is
floor.
better.
Okay. But it still gets dirty and dusty.
It does a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll decide if we want to sweep the floor in the middle.
All right. All right.
Say
Well,
what
you
that-
could sell some advertising like
I'll
they
let
did.
you do that, John.
Yeah, I was gonna. You want the job of sweeping the floor? So, I mean,
I'm usually the last one out there anyway.
We'll take your spot on
Fran and I are the last ones out.
off the floor you are.
yeah, we lock the doors behind us. That's okay.
You got to find me first. So.
Talk about the Spartans. As far as you know, they're all okay in good health and everything.
Well, of course, Ethan's out with his ACL, and
yes.
Carter Bodwell, unfortunately, is under concussion protocol right now, so the chances that he's ready for this week is probably slim. After he gets rid of his headaches, he's still got his protocols to go through, and that's about a 5-day process. So
Yeah, I hit his head pretty hard when he went down.
I know Tuesday night he was still, lights were bothering his eyes a little bit last week, so I don't know exactly if he's got past those and where he's at in that protocol, but he won't be in the uniform, I'm sure, tomorrow night for sure.
Right. Talking about Ethan Smith, quite a thing happened in the last ballgame for the Spartans. Playing Northeastern, we had a very emotional moment at the beginning, and you might talk about it as we show it right now on TV3, a video from the Northeastern game.
Well, Ethan can't play, and the teams got together and decided on the first tip he could at least be on the floor, and then got the ball, and they set the time back to 8, and then had a chance for Ethan to get back out there on senior night, so he had a chance to be on the floor as a Spartan, last time on home court with the other seniors on that time. So it was a great gesture also by the Northeastern kids, and if Northeastern would have got the tip, we would have done the same thing, but I'm sure they set it up so that we tipped the ball back to him.
Right, he suffered a severe knee injury in the Batesville game and hasn't been able to play since then, and the crowd really appreciated what happened, gave him an ovation and everything, and I'm sure it'll be a time that he'll remember forever.
Yeah, I think you forget a lot of things about school. Where you're in sports, you remember a lot of those little things that happen on the court or on the bus ride or whatever. So it's a good moment for everybody. So
Very nice young man.
Will he be dressed tomorrow night and on the bench? Or
he will not be in uniform. You can only dress 12. So
Okay.
somebody will be in his number, I'm sure, or dressed. I don't know if it'll be in his number, but somebody will be dressed in that 12 spot. So if we need the people to play, we're not missing one person. So.
Well, we wanted to show that because it was quite a moment, and I saw a few handkerchiefs in the crowd.
Oh, I'm sure there are probably some people that get pretty emotional. So it's a good thing, though. So.
Yeah, real sportsmanship, as Stem was talking about. I mean, Northeastern agreed to it and everything. So
yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing to show for Ethan. He ended in a bad way his senior year, and just a little bit of thanks for him too, as well as for the other 5 kids that are out there. So.
what's your biggest concern as the sectional begins?
Everybody's in place and everybody shows up. After that, we'll just get it done. So it's just all the stuff you have to do that people don't realize. I think sometimes people think athletic directors just get to watch games all day long, and
You don't?
they don't really. So I like to travel to the road game because I can actually see a game, but they don't realize everything that myself and Mandy Harvey and Trent Liggett do and Brian Edgecombe do behind the scenes before you get to see what it looks like to do the game. And I always joke that if I got both teams there and all my workers and 5 officials, from there you just go fly by your seat of pants if something comes up. You can only prepare for so many things that might happen along the way. So you try to make sure those are taken care of before we get there, and then if things happen, you just got to play by ear and run with it. So,
You know, the bowl always, whenever we walk in, and we get there early, before the fans start coming in to get set up, but everything is always in its place and looks nice, clean. You know, we got a lot to be proud of there. That Brian takes a lot of pride in his job.
He does, and as everything's set up, and of course I'm down there by about 4:00, 4:10 on game days, and get all my stuff done that has to go out and sit down, and it'll be the same way tomorrow. And minus a few programs, since we won't put our own programs out, but we'll have our roster page and all this information from the tournament, and then the placards for the newspaper and the radio shows that are coming, and there'll be a IHSA sponsor coming in on Wednesday night, so I got to find a place for their big backdrop and an 8-foot table. And
Will I have the alternate official sitting next to me? I usually...
none, and there is no alternate in the sectional.
Oh, there is not.
In the regional, they'll have one.
Okay.
They don't have one in the sectional.
Is that something new? Because I thought we used to have an alternate.
Yeah, I don't remember any for a while. So.
Okay.
At least there's no alternate list.
course, it's been
That
a
doesn't
long
mean
time.
somebody won't show up.
It's been a long time since we had a sectional here, too.
So, but we got our 6 officials, and they're assigned by the state. There's just a lot of paperwork that you got to do before this meet's over, and signing papers, and everybody's got to sign something that works, and of course you got to pay them, and then you got to do all that stuff. So they're all things that has to be done, which is fine.
Yeah.
So hospitality set up for all our guests, and got to get people to run that. People run the concessions. We hope we're ready. If not by now, we're almost too late. But I think everything's good other than going down tonight to set up the signs and the admission signs and put the signs where the teams are going to sit. And if you haven't been there, we're going to be on the southeast corner tomorrow night. We'll sit on the south bench, and our fans will be in. I know you know the sections behind the section behind our bench, and that corner section, which our kids will be in the corner section.
Yeah.
Especially when there's 4 teams coming, we always kind of put the kids in the wedge. And then Lawrenceburg will be in the northeast corner under A and B. So their fans will be opposite their seat. Now I know with only 2 teams tomorrow, there'll be fans probably a little bit everywhere. But when we get to Wednesday night and 4 teams, they all have their corners. So. But try to leave the north and south open as much as we can for those who want to come and watch that aren't playing. If we can get that worked out, that'd be great. So,
how many teams came to practice? I know if they played here during the season, they do not practice.
Correct.
Batesville would be one.
Batesville, Lawrenceburg, and South Dearborn. Lawrenceburg came last Thursday. We kind of got a little bit of hindrance because we had to set the gymnastics floor up Thursday night for the sectional. And then, of course, it was set up on the floor Friday. And, of course, we had Saturday sectional. So that kind of wiped Friday and Saturday out. So Lawrenceburg came and practiced on Thursday. South Dearborn opted not to come up and practice, and Batesville's actually going to practice tomorrow at 4 o'clock prior to the game. So
Okay.
I told him it'd be set up and there'd be people in and out, and he was okay with that. So they wanted to come and watch tomorrow night's game, so they didn't want to make. They played on the road twice last week and didn't want to make another trip. I think they played Thursday, Friday, and then they want to make a trip on Monday and Tuesday. So he asked if he could come in at 4, and I said, well, since we don't play till 7, we can get you in. And they just pretty much want to come in and shoot like most teams do.
Sure.
Just to get back into the bowl since they hadn't been there for a while.
Should be a lot of excitement. And I've had coaches tell me that it's a hard place to play. Why is the Spartan Bowl such a hard place to play?
I think sometimes it's just the shooting background. You know, even our kids will struggle sometimes at Newcastle because of the depth. And then we have a bowl, but when you're not used to shooting in that big background where there's not a wall back there, makes your depth perception just a tad bit different when you're shooting. So, and like I said, I know we shoot in the bowl, but even our kids have said something about when they've shot at Newcastle before, just because it's a little bit bigger space, it makes it a little bit hard time to adjust sometimes. So.
Is it looking at a crowd? Is that affected?
Well, I hope our crowd affects a lot of those shots. So, I don't know. I think if you play, I try to think back when I played, and I don't know how everybody's, but I don't remember too much about the crowd when you play. So, if you're tuned in, I think you're tuned in. If you're hearing the crowd, you're probably not listening to the right thing. So, if you hear your mom, your dad, your fans, your sister, your boyfriend, or your girlfriend, you're probably listening to the wrong crowd. So, but no, I think most people can just focus in.
I've even heard Coach Brown, when we're on the road, talk about a gym. He said, this is a hard place to play.
Well, you know, sometimes it just depends on where you're at. And,
Sure.
You know, I think people for our place think it's hard. You know, we went 3 years without losing a home game, so for the most part. So that reputation gets out that you play a little harder at home, and hopefully that'll come back again tomorrow night.
That sixth man in the stands, too.
It does help. Our crowd does get into the game. And,
Sure.
especially if it's close, you know. And we have our people that voice their opinion, and we get to hear them. And
Really?
we're no different than anybody else, but
I got
it's a great
touchdowns to
atmosphere
one
with our
sometimes.
kids and the fans that get involved in the game, and you know, and I can think back to a few years ago, we started doing school songs, and our fans weren't hardly standing up, but they don't do that anymore. They're all up, and when we play it, everybody gets up and is a part of it now.
Sure.
So
I know a lot of people are looking forward to this week here at Connersville, and we know who they want to win, and we hope they're right.
well, I'm thinking they're going to be right, but that's my own personal opinion. I still got to
Okay.
put the uniform and go play the orange tomorrow night, or they'll be in black. I'm not sure which color they're going to be in. I take that back. They're going to be in white tomorrow. Because you get
Spartans
there,
are in
red.
red,
Spartans
yeah.
will be in red.
Right, because
We will be the visitors on the scoreboard.
first team in the bracket is the
Yes.
right. It doesn't make any sense. You would think the first team would be the home team, but you and your IHSA cohorts up there in Indianapolis, I mean,
I think it's that way anywhere you go. I don't know. But we'll be in red, and we'll be the visitors on the scoreboard. Hopefully all of our people at the scores table will keep that straight. And, you know, Terry Hillman, unfortunately, won't be there tomorrow night. He's in New Orleans until Wednesday.
yeah, he's
so
on a 4-H.
Terry Davidson,
something.
Whitewater Valley REMC.
Right,
Something. But,
Very important.
Terry Davidson will take over on Tuesday, tomorrow night for him, so hopefully he'll know which team's on the scoreboard and put the scores in the book on the right side. Now, he'll put them in the book on the right side. It's one of those people running the board will make sure they're putting it on the right side at the top.
Yeah, Terry was concerned early in the season about missing
He told me probably at least a dozen times to remind
Yeah,
me,
missing
so.
part of the sectional.
Yeah,
he didn't know. He was
I told
torn
him it was
between.
docked if he wasn't back by Tuesday.
He didn't like the draw.
No, he was hoping for a Wednesday
for
or
us to
later.
play Wednesday, so that, or the bye.
But I'm telling you, that's the reason why we got Tuesday, because you left. So,
Yeah.
but Jeff Risch and Jeff Gabbard run the clock, and then
Yes.
Jeff had something come up all of a sudden today, so Julie Bell will take his place on Wednesday to run the clock. She does it for the girls, so and Jeff Gabbard runs the score and keeps all that stuff. So you got Bob Powers and Larry Myers on the announcing and keeping the stats. So we're all ready. You on the TV and Sam on the radio. I don't know. What else do you need?
So that's all you need.
Eric Gardner tunnel, and we're good.
You mentioned, or Fran did, white uniforms. We see collegiate teams sometimes. If the color is not the same as their opposition, they'll wear their road uniforms. Sure. Is it a rule for IHSAA for sectional tournament that whoever's designated to be the home team has to wear white?
Yeah, you have to get permission to do that, and I don't think they'll grant that in the sectional. I mean, we haven't asked, but we've always been told the home team has to wear the
And there's no
color.
need to, but
No, but in football, the home team wears the dark color.
right. I've never figured that out either.
Soccer. So there's a little bit of talk. So maybe in time the collar will be worn at home and the white will be worn on the road, so you can see your collar at home and not your neutral collar, so to speak. So, but
It's interesting how all that's developed over the course of the history of all those sports.
you're right. I mean, and I don't know how it gets started. It's just somebody gets this, we need to do it this way, and if they get enough steam to roll it, then things seem to change.
The host team for tournaments get to choose the bench they want to sit on. Is that correct?
Yeah, if you host, you can have your own bench. So we will still sit on the south end, but we'll be in red uniforms tomorrow. So.
Okay.
It's kind of hard, some people used to come in and want to throw you off your bench so that you kind of felt like you were in a different spot. So a few years back that got changed to where the home school gets to stay on their own home bench that they're used to sitting at. So good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah,
Still got to suit it up, still got to play.
that's right.
Still going to lace your sneakers on. So
When's the first spring sports event?
first event, probably softball double scrimmage, but I can't tell you exactly what date. Practice starts March the 9th for softball, which is a week from today. Baseball, golf, and tennis start March the 16th. Of course, track's already in season now. Track actually competes this week in indoor meet, so
Yes.
they'll compete down at East Central this week, and then they'll compete at Anderson on the 14th. And hopefully the Spartans will be playing in the Hatchet House on the 14th in basketball. So.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. That would be nice. Why is it called the Hatchet House?
Well, because they're the Washington Hatchets.
Okay.
So I could assume it just became the Hatchet House because of their nickname. So, but baseball has a scrimmage on the 27th of March, and softball's got a scrimmage with Jennings County at that same time frame. So, won't be long.
No, I was going to say.
Hopefully the weather will stay nice, and we won't get bombarded with coldness. It's
Yeah,
tournament time. I might just dip tomorrow night for no reason. So, seems to happen that way at times. So.
Well, the weather, I think, will be okay this week.
Hey, we're going to play 4 nights, so.
Right. Yeah.
We've played in a lot worse. If you remember back to the girls the last time, 2 times ago, we hosted it with Anderson. They said they could get here, and I said, well, if you can get here, I can host it.
Well,
So
that one year when we
snow
were
everywhere.
with the 4A teams out of Indianapolis, that they ended up playing the championship game in Indianapolis for the girls.
Yep.
Snow, and they didn't want to drive back down here.
Well, I was at the state swim meet with Quentin Saturday, and Quentin did a good job of representing Connors. Well, unfortunately, had one bad dive in his first 5, which hurt him a little bit, so it cost him being in the second cut. There was a cut, but they had a situation at Heritage Christian where they went into practice and the floor was buckled. It had been that way all year. It had a little bow in it. And nobody at Heritage Christian had told me I should say that was there until somebody called them today. Go look. So they were moving the sectional as of Saturday.
I saw
From
that.
Heritage Christian to Cecina.
That's interesting that years ago when our girls played Heritage Christian, we went up there and that floor was all buckled then as well.
Well, probably been the same floor. So, but it got actually moved this weekend. So
You have to finish in the top 3 in swimming to receive a medal or something.
at the state meet,
Yes.
top 8.
Oh,
Yeah. So there'll be there were 32 divers there at the state finals on Saturday morning. Then the first cut's after 5 dives, and they cut it to the top 20. He was in the top 20 until he just had a bad dive, and in that level, it only takes one bad dive.
Yes.
You can be on the wrong side of the stick pretty quick. So then after that, they do 3 more dives, and they cut it down to the top 16, and they come back and do it in the finals once the swimming meet starts. So, but they placed 8 in each event at the IHSA state meet.
I'd say he represented us well, though.
He has. He's been there 2 years in a row, and hopefully he talked to him a little bit after the meet, and said he's got to change his order of his dives a little bit to get a little bit better degree of difficulty early, so his score's a little bit bigger getting through that cut line. So you can't save your bombs for the end if you don't make it to the end, so you got to sprinkle those out a little bit. So
Yeah, well, hopefully next third time will be the charm for him.
well, let's hope. I'd like to hang the medal on his neck. So
Yeah, he's fun to watch in the swimming.
he's a good kid.
Yes,
He works hard, and I hope being there he sees what's out there because there's a lot of good divers. A little
Sure.
boy from Delta One, it's a junior. Their AD is concerned that he may not be back because he's on the short list for the 2024 Olympic possibilities.
Does Quentin have a diving coach?
He works for the guy out of Centerville in the summertime, so he dives for a
Okay.
club over there. So he does have somebody he goes to. So and then Kristen Day used to be Kristen Gilly, coaches him during the season here. So
Yeah, well, it's good that he represented CHS, though, at the state finals. I suppose Carmel won again.
Carmel won the girls 2 weeks ago for the 34th consecutive year, and they won the boys Saturday for the 20th consecutive year. So they had about 3 or 4, maybe 4 or 5 state records they broke, and some were broken by 2 seconds, which in swimming is a smash.
That's a lot.
So when you're talking 2 or 3 body lengths or better down the pool. So a kid named Jake Mitchell won 4 of them, and I think he had state records in 3 of them. And his name's been on the short list for the Olympic trials as well. So
They know how to get it done.
well, their club coach was the assistant coach at the University of Tennessee, I was told. So they just hired them away from the University of Tennessee to coach at the Carmel Swim Club. So I guess if you can steal those type of caliber people to get them to come, you got something well running,
right.
or the pay is good. I don't know which it is.
Maybe all of the above.
It could be. So,
Once again, everybody, the sectional coming up this week at Spartan Bowl in Connorsville. Tomorrow night, Spartans and Lawrenceburg. On Wednesday night, it will be South Dearborn, Rushville first game, and Franklin County, Batesville second game. On Friday night, Lawrenceburg meets the winner of tomorrow night's ball game, and the winners from Wednesday play in the second ball game coming up on Friday night. Championship game, 7:30 Saturday. And Coach, next week, hope we can talk about a win for the Spartans.
well, that's the goal. So if you haven't got your sectional tickets today, they're $10 still if you want the whole season, but you can buy them at the gate tomorrow night for individual sessions at $6 a ticket. So everybody has to have a ticket to get in. There's no freebies tomorrow. So
Well, I know you'll do a good job, and it's well planned out. And, things will go very, very well, I'm sure.
as long as everything cooperates with the mechanics and the electric, Lawrenceburg, we can't judge the transformer.
We don't want to talk about
I think we're
Lawrenceburg,
ready as
but-
long as everything goes well.
But at least we got a win at Lawrenceburg, so the trip was worthwhile.
It was. I mean, if the lights go out, that's a good sign. So
And I'm glad we had a game in between, and it's been more than a week. That to play a team back-to-back wouldn't be.
yeah, it'd
Wouldn't
be
be
hard
that.
if we had to have to delay and put that after the week and then come around and play within the last 3 or 4 days. So
Yeah, it was a good game, and the Spartans played well in the game, and Lawrenceburg did too, so it should be quite a competitive
I think
affair.
the whole section will be pretty open and
Yes,
pretty competitive games from
I
top
think
to
so.
bottom. So
I think that's all you can hope for is 6 competitive games.
I know Greensburg's record's a lot better, but
Sure.
everybody's competed with them for the most part. So.
Sure, right. Everybody beatable, so
Just takes 32 minutes.
I'm sure the Spartans will put in a good effort. And thanks as always for joining us.
Happy to be here.
And we want to talk regional plans next week.
That's my plan. Go visit Larry Cochran in Washington next week.
Thanks, Brent.
So.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching this edition of the Spartan Sports Report.